Hey, Big Bang Theory viewers, a controversial new WWE show goes behind the scenes. An ex-WWE star caught up in the Epstein scandal because the name shows up in those documents. We're also talking TNA with our friend Victoria Crawford and this.
Who's the greatest pro wrestler of all time?
Who's the greatest pro wrestler?
Yes, sir. Of all time.
I don't know. I always liked The Undertaker.
Who? The Undertaker. That's a different answer.
We're getting the answer of who the greatest is ever on Going Ringside, which starts right now.
Influencing pop culture, politics, and everything in between. Taking you ringside as we discuss the crazy world that is professional wrestling. This is Going Ringside.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. So glad you could be with us. If you're a wrestling fan, you want to watch. If you're not a wrestling fan, I guarantee you may be interested to see what's coming up on the show. We're going to be talking the controversial new Netflix series, Who's the GOAT in Wrestling? Our friend Victoria Crawford is here, but we got to start with some big headlines, and the first one is a very serious one. It involves the late Ashley Masaro, former WWE star who died believed to be of suicide in 2019. Her name surfaced in the recent Epstein documents that were released, 3 million documents released last week, a lot of high-profile names. Her name came up in a random quote in a paragraph. It's disturbing because, as we know, as we've covered, Ashley Masaro died, believed, by suicide in 2019, made several claims of sexual assault in the final years of her life that many seemed unanswered. Well, now her name pops up here in this quote about a woman who believed to have been on Epstein Island. We don't know the name of that woman, but I want to read you this quote from the Epstein document. She also said that her friend Ashley Masaro, who died in 2019, the WWE got pregnant in high school. They both worked for Maxwell and McKella from Miami, Florida. That's all. It's not really clear what this means. Probably mentioning Ghislaine Maxwell, who's been incarcerated because of her role in the Epstein scandal. We don't have a lot of details here, but that came out last week. We haven't heard much of Ashley Masaro's name, of course, because she passed away 6 years ago. But certainly this is something we'll be following because the Epstein files has been a massive, massive ongoing drama in American politics and culture, and we'll follow it if any more comes with that, but not a lot of details. We need to turn our attention, though, to divisiveness among pro wrestling fans over the chaos involving what's going on in Minnesota and the protesters involving ICE. So since recent killings happened of a protester, members of the wrestling world have spoken out. Just a few high-profile names. One side, you heard from Mick Foley recently. Even The Rock's daughter, Ava, who left WWE last week right after leaving WWE, spoke out against ICE and the administration on the one hand. Then on the other hand, you have supporters like Disco Inferno and Val Venus speaking out in defense of the administration. By the way, on a related note, on our brand new interview with Kevin Nash recently dropped, Nash has been an outspoken critic of the administration. That's on the Going Ringside YouTube channel. But enough politics. I also wanted to show you some images of a big wrestling event that happened in Jacksonville. Our friends over at CCW, based in Jax, just had their Stampede 35. A huge crowd showed up on the west side for their big event of the year on Ramona Boulevard. They do just a great show over there, really fun. Anytime CCW has a show in Jacksonville, go check it out. Now, we need to talk about that controversial new Netflix docuseries, WWE Unreal. Let's put it on the screen. They have the tease where even Paul Heyman says, I don't like this. It pulls back the curtain on what's really going on to make WWE storylines and matches. A lot of people don't like it, but we decided to dig into it. I sat down with Lyra Valkyria, star with WWE, to get her thoughts on WWE Unreal on Netflix Season 2. Here's Lyra Valkyria. Well, we're here and excited to be joined by Lyra Valkyria. Lyra, thank you for joining us on the show today.
No, of course. Hi, Scott. How's it going?
Good. So glad you could be with us. WWE Unscripted on Netflix. A lot of viewers that we have may not have seen it before. This is unlike anything pro wrestling has ever done before.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy, really, now that we're pulling back the curtain. And I completely understand there's such a demand for it. Everyone wants to know how we put all this stuff together. Who are we behind the scenes? Yeah, the world got a very good insight into who I am.
They did. I mean, what do you think of this? Was there a debate in the wrestling world for going into doing something like this? We've never seen it to this level before.
Yeah, I don't even know how I feel about it, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, it's strange. Like, we're so in control of how we want to come across in everything else we do. So it's strange. Like, I'm so used to, like, the whole reason I am Lyra is because of I'm someone on the show, and that's who I choose to show the world. So to have had, a camera, right after a very huge moment that didn't necessarily go my way. So to be speaking as Aoife is really weird.
I'm sure. I mean, the first thing in the commercial is Paul Heyman saying, "I don't like this idea." I mean, that pretty much tells the viewers right there, not everyone's on board. No,
like I don't know if I'm on board. We did that SummerSlam interview like months ago now, and I've been like, oh God, I don't know how that's going to come across when this all airs. Because I don't know, I like to feel in control of what I put out there. It's all thought of. It's all like it's everything to us is like what we do on TV. So to have all these cameras in the back now, it's really raw, and you get an insight into so much that goes on behind the scenes that, like, we might not necessarily want you to see.
There's a fascinating quote from Becky Lynch in the commercial where she says, my son said my dad has a fake injury, and like living in that world is unique, is it not?
It is. It's so unique, but like you go through, like, even look at the lengths that Seth went to in his injury, like to protect it, and we want, like, the whole reason for what we do is to suspend disbelief and let you buy into what we're putting out there. So I completely understand people not wanting to pull back the curtain too much, but I guess it's just the era we're in, and this is where we are and what we do now, and it, like, there's such a demand for it, like the amount of people that have connected with me. But then the other side of it is our whole point is to make a connection with people, and people seem to have connected with me over season 2 of Unreal, so I guess that's a very good side of it as well.
Well, Lyra Valkyria, WWE superstar, Unreal, thank you so much for joining us and talking to us about the big show today.
No, of course, thank you.
Well, the thing that fascinates me about WWE Unreal is their own stars are saying, I'm not totally on board with pulling back the curtain. I even saw some quotes recently with Undertaker saying, I think maybe we've gone a little too far, but I've talked to other fans who say, I want to know what goes on in that writer's room. So, they're balancing it. There's a desire to know, but others like, we got to protect the business. It's interesting, but you need to stay tuned for what's next.
What's the name again?
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Probably The Rock. I think he's the hottest.
You think I'm hot?
No, I'm married.
We go to the streets. That's Sofia Vitello heading out to determine the greatest wrestler of all time. You don't want to miss this fun segment. Up next. Well, welcome back. We're going to have a little fun right now. We're bringing in from over at Channel 4, Sofia Vitello over at
You know.
We decided to bring her over here to CW17, kind of where I hang out too, because Sofia, we're talking about the greatest pro wrestlers of all time. Now,
Yes.
people like transparency nowadays.
Okay.
She doesn't know a lot about wrestling.
I'm really sorry, guys. I really don't know quite literally anything about wrestling.
But
I know the beautiful men involved.
The beautiful men, yes, and women.
the women.
Yes. But we still wanted to send you out on the streets to help us out, because we need to get out of the studio a little more.
Yeah, let's get out and have fun.
We need to ask people, who's the greatest pro wrestler of all time?
We got some really
I sent
comments.
you out on the streets to do our dirty work for us and get the answer.
Yes.
Here's Sofia.
Sir, can I ask you a question? Sir, who's the greatest pro wrestler of all time?
John Cena.
John Cena!
Da, 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 da.
Sir, Who's the greatest pro wrestler of all time?
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan, yeah.
Why?
It's when I grew up in the 80s. He was big then. He's long-lasting, decades of fans and decades on TV, multiple times with the belts. Real fan favorite, you know, played to the crowd.
Who's the greatest pro wrestler of all time? Oh, he doesn't care.
I'll go with, what's the person that be wearing the mask? He had to live. You know what I'm talking about?
Person that wears a mask, Scott?
Mysterio?
Yeah, there you go.
Not John Cena or Ric Flair?
John Cena went out bad. I ain't messing with it.
We're done with him.
Yeah. Whatever. What's his name again?
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Probably The Rock. I think he's the hottest. No, I'm married. Excuse me, sir. Who's the greatest pro wrestler of all time?
John Cena.
John Cena, why?
I think what he does outside of wrestling is really cool. So and I grew up watching John Cena.
I can't hear you. Yell it louder. John Cena. Thank you. Pro wrestler of all time.
I don't know.
Are you alive right now? Okay. Who's the greatest pro wrestler of all time? You guys watch wrestling? No? Not a big wrestling parking lot. Who's the greatest pro wrestler of all time?
Who's the greatest pro wrestler?
Yes, sir. Of all time.
I don't know. I always like The Undertaker.
Who? The Undertaker. That's a different answer. Everyone's been...
Is he a wrestler?
Yeah. Everyone's been saying Cena, The Rock.
Too. All right. But I always
The
like
Undertaker. You have a reason why?
I always liked his, how he's dead and then he come back and then he kills you.
Oh, scary.
Yeah.
Scary a little bit. So you watch wrestling? You like wrestling?
Not no more.
Not no more.
No, not really.
Do you not like where it's gone?
Once I found out kind of how fake it was, I'm like, I was a kid.
It's not fake!
Right.
So the guy said it was fake. They call that the F word in, wrestling. They don't like that word in wrestling. So what did you think when you went out? This was kind of interesting for you.
I think my favorite guy was the one on the bike. He was our first interview, actually. So he rode up, and I was just so excited, to have a good conversation. And him telling me he didn't care really just ignited me.
And
to get the real answers.
You were adamant you wanted the answer. So
we were running. I was running like this, and Scott was chasing me around.
Yeah, and you were wearing your heels. So who do you think the fans liked the most? Who got the most answers that you would say?
You know what? I actually heard, I think I did hear more than one Undertaker.
You did hear more than one
I heard more than one Undertaker, but the common theme was I grew up watching Hulk Hogan, so that's why I love Hulk Hogan. That was the other one.
So Hogan, did Cena get a lot?
A lot of them were saying they were over him.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Well, he just retired, so...
Didn't he just have a whole big... See, I knew about that whole other fight. I knew about that.
You knew that, because you were on the... at one point, you were on the Going Ringside Twitch channel. Free plug, because we got to get that thing up and running, by the way. That's one of these days. But, Sophia, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, and we got to get a Jacksonville fixture back in here. Friend of the show, Victoria Crawford, Jacksonville's own. Victoria, thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank you.
So last time we had you on, we talked about your career and all that, but we kind of glossed over some big things happening right now. With total nonstop action, TNA Wrestling just signed a major deal with AMC. So no longer is TNA with some sort of rinky-dink cable operation. This is like a major cable provider. You guys are on AMC now. This is very exciting.
We're on AMC live every Thursday night now at 9 p.m.
Are you guys excited? Like, what was the mood? So I would talk to you. We'd talk a little off the record on occasion over the months. But one time you're like, I think there's a media deal coming, but we didn't really know where.
Yeah.
And then I saw the news come out. You guys are with AMC. That's a big deal. That's like a major player in cable. Was there excitement in the locker room when TNA found out you guys are going to AMC?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And the TNA family has worked really hard to get there. It's been over 20 years of them working hard and going and trying different shows, networks, channels to get here. And so now it's good because it's available to everybody.
So TNA, yeah, that's really what's important because everyone has AMC. Every
Yes.
TV home has it. So you don't have to worry about, they don't have to subscribe to some weird package or anything. Just tune on AMC Thursday nights.
Old school, just get your popcorn, get into your wrestling zone, and yeah, it's available to everybody.
So you were telling me that I think it's kind of drawing a lot of attention to you guys.
Oh, yeah.
More of a big stable, major company.
Yeah, because AMC has Walking Dead, you know, Somebody Call Sal, and a lot of following. And
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
I'm watching that right now, so I need to correct
I need
you.
to watch it because I just subscribed.
Yeah, but Better Call Saul,
Better Call
Walking
Saul.
Dead, TNA. So
Yeah.
I've seen wrestling over the years do stuff like this because AMC gets some of the big shows, like you just said, Walking Dead, Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad.
But we're live sports.
And live sports.
We're live sports.
Do you think they're, like, if I see a zombie run in the ring, could that theoretically happen? Because they do crossover with that stuff.
You could write that for
I think,
sure.
hey,
You seem like you're creative.
I think, is it Tommy Dreamer who's in
Yes,
charge? Let
yeah.
Tommy know. I'm willing to write
Definitely.
free of charge.
Tommy.
I'm willing to throw in some ideas. Call me, Tommy.
That's-
You've got my number.
Love it.
But it's very exciting. So talk to me about who are the big players in TNA right now that are viewers right now.
Man, so there's a lot of, you know, there's like the Dolph Ziggler's, he's ex-WWE, Tommy Dreamer, as we said.
Yeah,
Tommy
sure.
Dreamer, ex-WWE. But TNA has established a lot of great stars. There's like Stephen Macklin, he's been a champion. There's Ali, he's been ex-WWE, now a champion, or going into the champion thing. There's also Tasha Steeles and other women superstars that contributed to that brand a long time. Gail Kim's
Gail Kim, oh yeah, she's an icon.
From there, exactly.
So I got to ask about something because right after our show here in just a few minutes, you're probably going to watch NXT starts. You guys were involved in this weird old invasion of NXT, a different full TNA company. You guys invaded down in Orlando into WWE's territory into NXT. What was that all about? That got kind of intense.
It's intense, yes. Wrestling is intense. You know, it's about territories, right?
Yeah.
Territories.
And your territory went into the, you know, back in the day, that was like hostile. That was like hostile invasion. You guys decided to go that route.
Hey, it's still 2026.
So I want to ask about you. So it was about 2022 or so you left WWE?
Yeah, we were saying that, like maybe 2022,
About 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So you leave and you came back to Jacksonville. We were all excited to have you back in town.
thanks.
But I saw as we would talk on our web show, I could see you getting the itch. You're like, I'm booking a date out on the West Coast. I think you were doing a show in Canada. Did you leave North America at one point?
I did. True story. Yes, you definitely are correct on those. Yes, I was.
So what happened? Like you left WWE, and then I could see you just getting more and more dates. You're doing more and more shows around the country because you're a veteran. You're an icon in the industry. So how did the itch come back to get back into it?
You know, as we were talking earlier, it's when I went down to Hatchet.
Hatchet Pro Wrestling in St. Augustine, yes.
Exactly, Hatchet Pro Wrestling in St. Augustine with Sam Shaw and John Davis and Brandon. And that's what gave me the itch, rolling around with the kids, you know, and I realized...
You say kids.
Yeah,
Does that weird you out to call them kids?
I was just about to say, okay, yes, yes and true, right?
Yep.
Both facts. And I realized, like, what I could actually contribute back to the industry, like, from my heart would be just kind of... you know, just a good mentor, a good mentorship that can roll around with you and teach you how to wrestle.
One thing you told me when we first got to know each other, which always fascinated me, wrestling feels celebrity in the wrestling bubble. But when you got out of the wrestling bubble, people were just kind of confused on what you did. Is that a real thing?
Well, you know, there's a couple of perspectives that I gained from leaving WWE. For one, I went to corporate land. So I was like with my resume and doing all the things. And wrestling, that was over. That was
done.
Definitely different, you know, like people didn't understand. It was a lot. So back in wrestling, you know, you're kind of in this world and it's a real world, you know. And it's growing and emerging, and I feel my journey really is to develop in this world. You know what I'm saying?
I once talked to Devon Dudley back when he was in TNA, and he said it's just different. People who are not in it don't get it.
I mean, it's funny because why can't we articulate it? Because it's family. It's like in those layers of like what nurtures the industry, right? Because you know, in my theory, it's like we bring nature to wrestling. You know, wrestling by itself, would it be attractive if it was just an empty arena with a ring in the middle? Like, so we have to bring it nature, you know, like us as workers, us as, you know, storytellers. And I think for those that can't really get into the ring and have a full career, even the ones that are in the ring that can't embody that full John Cena experience, you know, I think it's important that we all still know we contribute because we bring the nature. Someone has to turn on the light, someone has to turn on the air, you know, but there's more of what we can't even figure out how to talk about. That's like, well, what is it, right? That we all share, I think.
And I got to put you on the hot seat. So, I mean, people know TNA and WWE, they kind of got a relationship going on. Yeah. Could I feasibly ever see you in a WWE screen?
I would love that. I would love that. I wish I could wrap my imagination on what that would look like in my dreams. But
because you would have to, because you're a woman of two names. Are you Victoria Crawford or are you Alicia Fox?
Good question.
And that is an interesting dynamic you live in. Well, we're gonna have a little more with Alicia after the break. Excuse me, Victoria. You see, I just did it. I just did it. We'll be right back after this. That was all. Welcome back. Before we go, Victoria, so Thursday night, 9 o'clock, AMC, TNA, what are we looking for this week? Big show?
Big show, yeah. Big show every week. Big show every week, live.
Do you think you guys compete as well as any wrestling show on TV now?
Oh, yeah.
You've got the budget, you've got the production value. It's incredible.
And we've got the talent, we've got the experience, and we got the dreamer, Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer is the brains behind it.
Yeah,
yes.
And we got the other creative.
I'm going to send them some ideas.
Yeah, we got the people. We got the people that are looking forward to experiencing wrestling from a whole nother story.
Yeah, it's exciting. Have you ever seen this much choice for wrestling fans?
No, and I love that because they should have more choices. Yeah. They should have more options. We can give it to them. That's what.
Well, Victoria, Thursday night at 9, we'll be looking for an AMC. Thank you for watching. Before we go, I got to implore you, our YouTube channel and our brand new Twitch channel. Look up Going Ringside on YouTube. Look Going Ringside on Twitch, which I launched this week. Subscribe to both. We need your help. We need your support to make this all work. We'll see you back here next time. NXT is next.